All right. Hello, everybody. This is second round of the playoffs, semifinals. Poppin Steve is the match we're looking at, but our guests today are returning guest Poppin Fresh
Hello, hello.
and first time guest the Jordan.
I don't know. I joined VBL-S for season 2.
He did. So if
yeah,
you don't,
Poppin and Steve already kind of knew what they were doing, but like Steve was on another level from the beginning.
Yeah,
Very true.
he was the inspiration.
very
And
true.
I say that honestly. He made me actually think about what I had to do in draft and actively try to step it up.
He made me think about Delmize.
He spurred on some bad decisions from some people in season 2. But that's for the season 2 series of the podcast.
I'm gonna
I mean,
defend.
that's the effect of the VBL is that people push each other to be better, not by like insulting each other's moms, but by like just showing cool stuff. And you're like, well, I want to show cool stuff.
Yeah.
Can we insult?
I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
live the Porygon Z Max Strike with exactly 1%.
What a calc, man.
What a
Yeah,
cock.
that's why this is the only league I've stuck with. This is the best one. We're such a good community, and that's really all that matters. And I say to new people whenever they come in, I make sure like, hey, the B used to stand for beginner, but you know, that's not so true anymore. Like
Stands
anybody
for.
who
Sorry.
stands for something.
Boss now.
We've all helped each other become significantly better players, and it's just a warm fuzzy, you know.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what were you trying to do with this team, Poppin, that got run over by Steve's Cinderace?
So, let's see. Let me put myself back in the frame of mind. So this was the semifinals. I'm going to blame external circumstances. This was the week I got my puppy, so I was scatterbrained. All I knew was I was terrified of facing Steve again because he dumpstered me in the regular season. And I was really, really hoping he would get knocked out round 1. He didn't, so then it came back to this. I don't remember exactly what I brought against Steve the first week, but I figured I liked Rillaboom, Amoonguss. They had been doing pretty well for me. Porygon Z was my mascot, I guess, season 1. Rhydon was good, so I figured I'd bring those 4, and then maybe Excelgor or Palisand. That was a thing back then, right? Steve definitely wouldn't prep for that because it's not incredibly obvious what those two do together.
I don't know if they've ever really succeeded in quite being a thing. You know, it's like I'm aware of it, but I'm not afraid.
They succeeded.
Did it succeed 1 or 2 times in the season?
I don't know about I don't even know if
I
they
don't
ever
think
succeeded.
so.
I think they sat on the bench most weeks. I brought them
Yeah.
in whenever I brought them. I lost, but they worked on ladder for like a week whenever someone discovered that. So that means they're good in draft, right? That was my thinking.
This is a learning moment. People on
Yeah.
ladder are bad. People in draft are good. Thoughts?
Yeah.
I stopped
agree.
laddering. The pace of change is really fast in Gen 9. Like I
Yeah.
want to understand a format. I want to only have to understand a few new mons a week, and that's what draft allows me to do.
Very true.
I haven't played ladder since I joined this draft league. So again, just another ad for the league. We're the best. You won't want to do anything else.
Well, so kind of what struck me for this match was just speed again. And I think this sort of brings us back to the matchup from last week, you versus Braff. Poppin versus Braff. Where again, just the person who was using max moves first who ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're either airstreaming to help your partner or you're steel spiking to help your partner. Like both were really helpful here. And in Cinderace's case, it means turning into a steel type, which is Terra before a Terra. So it allowed it to live that ride on Rock Slide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when my big takeaway from this first season was that I just it kind of makes sense, right? When you don't really know what you're doing, you're gonna miss some key stuff. The big thing that I missed was reliable speed control. I had Aromatisse Trick Room, which is decently reliable, but if I want to do anything faster, it was like Icy Wind, maybe Excelgor Mudshot. But if that's your second best option, that's like pretty bad. So I definitely learned that that's something you can't just assume you'll figure out for each week, because there's weeks where just how am I going to beat a Scar Paracross, right? That's not something you typically like oh, I need to make sure I hit this benchmark of a Scarf Heracross, right? And like, there's no way to do that with this team besides Excelgor, but Excelgor is shitty.
Look at Steve bringing the Airstream and the Scarf out game one. Like, he understands the importance of speed and does not just have one thing that's going to provide your speed. So like that's I think what Steve has done. Like he really commits to kind of like hardcore strats, and then like if it loses game one, he'll adjust. But he's not afraid in that regard. Like I remember like talking to you, Sam, about like a match you were gonna do against Steve, and you were bringing the Scarf Sock, and you're like, "There's no way you can stop this," and I was totally on board. I'm like, "This I don't see how he's supposed to stop this." And then Steve brings Scarf, Reggie Drago, and Tailwind, so like you can't. Scarf Sock can't deal with both of them at the same time. So like Steve goes all in. When he wants to go fast, he's going fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think something that I didn't see too much in the first season, where I didn't see a lot of choice items. I think people were kind of scared of that.
In Dynamax, it's harder. Yeah.
Dynamax in doubles, it's always intimidating, especially when like each week, especially in these kind of weeks, right, where it's high stakes. It's like, oh fuck, if I lock myself into I don't know. I guess Terra doesn't exist yet, but locking yourself into close combat is a scary proposition. But just sometimes being bold is what you have to do, especially when you're up against something that if you don't stop it immediately, like Porygon Z was back in the day, it's like one of those bold choices you have to make, and it paid off.
Yeah, and so like in Dynamax, you were discouraged from like maxing your Mon with the choice items because the choice item would then do nothing. So it's like you kind of have Dynamax as a gimmick kind of forced you into certain game plans where you're like, this is obviously my max option. It's got the steel move, so I can do steel spikes. It's got the random bounce, which is just so that I can airstream for my team. So I'm happy that Terra's been a more flexible mechanic, is that everybody gains something, and it's something different usually, depending on the match. But like Dynamax is like, I can have like, what was kind of cool about Dynamax is you can have one Mon that is like your whole damage dealer, and like everything else can be built around that. Like you brought some weeks, Poppin, where I'm sure Porygon Z was getting 7 kills by design. Like there was no other way except Porygon Z.
Yeah, I think Porygon Z was like if it wasn't the top, I think it was like top 3 kill leaders, because it just showed up, and eventually what I learned to do was don't bother with the other Dynamax, just kill the partner 3 turns in a row, and then my other 3 can probably win the 1v3.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
I'll pull it up, but it was something like Goodra, Venusaur.
Yeah, Goodra was
Porygon Z as the top 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Let's see.
I mean that's like just good because like Dynamax Mons are the only ones that can live the dreaded Porygon Z max strike. So you just like keep picking things off. And then it's PZ and friends.
Yeah, there was like I can't even remember anything else on this team. There were like 7 months that rode the bench just because it didn't work with Porygon Z.
Oh, my team was so bad.
What was your team? I don't even remember. You had the Sand mode, Tyranitar Excadrill.
It was literally the only good thing on my team was Reuniclus, which is the best ever.
Yeah, your Reuniclus is pretty sick.
I love Reuniclus.
Sand seems like a play style that people lose with unless they really know what they're doing. Or they have Terra. Terra certainly is going to help. But some of these inflexible Mons like switch things up on you.
I've never been brave enough to draft Weather in VGC.
Me neither.
It's too
actually.
scary.
I haven't seriously done Weather either.
Yeah, Weather seems like a lighter element in this generation so far, which I like because it's a factor, but it's not like the best abusers aren't here, and so it's like sometimes like you can let the Rain team get Rain, and it's not the end of the world. Maybe that I can't tell what makes me think that, because concretely like in Dynamax anybody could reset Weather if they had a max Rockfall or max Water, Fire, etc. But Water was very volatile then. No, I think because the pace of games was just forced to be fast most of the time with Dynamax, that it meant like your fundamental synergies, the thing that lets you be twice speed turn 1 is Sand Rush or Swift Swim. That it just made like those sand abilities really were a good fit with Dynamax because it allowed you to be more explosive.
Right, yeah, you get 2 attacks turn 1 instead of an attack plus Tailwind.
Yeah. Also, like Dynamax is a like game accelerating mechanic. Terra can technically be either, but I feel like it slows more than it speeds up just because it's fundamentally deals with counterplay. Like
Used
it
optimally, I think it
yeah,
slows the game down.
it fundamentally adds to a team's ability to play around more things, which slows down the game because if you're playing around more things, then not as many things are like getting O-code.
If you're using your Terra well, that turn should be an ugly surprise for your opponent. But
Yeah.
if you're knowing that Terra is going to make somebody have a really unpleasant turn against you, then you should be just playing more carefully. Like Protect is just very valuable in Terra because like that's the information you're getting is just seeing the Terra. So yeah, it's gonna slow games down. But that said, like all the mons they introduced in Gen 9 are just like these random glass cannons with booster energy.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't wait to draft a Paradox Mon. I skipped it this season, but I'm ready.
I can't find stats on here. I think Poppin had a stat doc. I'll try to find it.
What are you looking for?
Season 1 kill stats.
I thought it was Gudra at number 1, like you said.
It's not on the official doc, but I think
Rest in peace, draftleague.nl. That's where we tracked the first 6 seasons of the league, and so now it's harder to find some of the stats.
Actually, 2 through 6. Season 1
2
was
through 6.
Yes, season 1 was on a document.
Well, isn't the doc better now that I'm part of the doc?
Exactly.
Yes.
We found a good doc to copy. You made it pretty. Lovely.
The secret is obsessiveness. I wouldn't recommend it, but once you have it, then
might as well make use of it.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks like Poppin VBL-S season 1.xlsx. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, I can sort by things. Oh my god, this is great. Oh wait, I don't know that I can. Poppin, I'm gonna send you this link, and you should.
I'm not on my work computer. I can't open it.
Oh no.
If it's an Excel file.
Well,
so
I
Sam,
opened
you're
it with
planning
Sheets.
to show the finals in the next episode of the podcast?
Yes.
So okay, so we shouldn't talk about that, but yes, Steve doing quite well. But Poppin, you have now made playoffs for 8 seasons in 9 of VBL-S. That's tied for the highest. How does it feel? Have you had to have grown with the league?
It feels pretty good. I definitely think it was purposeful, right? Like season 3, I did horrible, and like whenever I think back, I'm like, okay, this season it can't be season 3 again. If I like whenever I start a season on a loss, I'm like, oh shit, is it happening again? Like, and then I have to actively think harder, play my matchups better, learn the game more. Like for this last matchup I had, week 7 versus Joey Jokestar, I had to look up a whole bunch of stuff about how foul play worked, how body press worked, how Sword of Ruin and Tablets of Ruin worked, all so that I could just slap a choice band on Wo-Chien and go crazy. And that's definitely not something I would have done in any earlier season when I was just like, you know, full of myself, like, oh, I'll just make playoffs guaranteed, and then getting a smack of reality is like, oh, these people are good.
When you take that second loss before you wanted to, you're like, oh shit, now it's just got real. That has happened to me. My seasons have generally been dramatic and not as consistently successful as yours. I've lost every game 1 until this season, so I kept having to come back. Like even Jordan's throwdown this season, I lost game 1 or last, and so I'm tired of coming back from that.
This is your season though, man.
No, it's not. I'm gonna lose in round 1.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I won't believe until I make it through round 1 of the playoffs. Then I'll start to believe a little bit.
Well, I trusted you. You can find a way to deal with Chien Pao Dragonite. Well,
I can't. It's not a possibility. We're gonna read Protect's right for every single turn. It'll be great.
Easy.
Sorry, I should probably just stop looking for this. But I know.
Well, that said, like we don't know what we're supposed to talk about, Sam. So like.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
This is the Me and Jordan podcast now.
Okay. I'm gonna stop looking for it. I'll find it.
What were you looking for?
You had a stat doc for season 1. I remember you had a stat doc.
What did you want to know? I might remember it.
I wanted to just like read off the kill leaders for us. I thought it would be nice.
Gudra.
It was Gudra, Venusaur, Porygon Z. I remember that one.
Oh, VBL season 1 and 2 stats. Oh, I think these are combined.
Venusaur.
Oh my god, no. No,
Rats Max Venus
it's like a
score.
game by game. It's like thousands of Oh god, no.
Yeah, that was when I did that shit by hand because I was neurotic. I was like, oh, I have to calculate exactly what the best one on my team is. And then I did that, and I looked at the numbers like Chandelure underperforming has to go, and I dropped it, and then I didn't have a fire type, and I was really sad.
It's kind of awesome.
That's something I learned from season 1. Fire types are really, really good.
Fire types
and
are
you want to
really
make sure you have one.
Yeah. Was there a fire type in this game? I'm trying to think about it. There was a Cinderace.
One
There
that
was a
dunked on me.
Well,
Yeah,
like
occasionally.
Cinderace is only like 25% a fire type. Right?
Yeah.
In this game, yeah.
Yeah.
Grimmsnarl,
Well,
always a winner. Both
always a
players in this season have been bringing Grimmsnarl all season and winning with it. This season, this episode's winner didn't actually need to bring the Grimmsnarl. The point is, the Mon is a winner. It just wins.
Absolutely.
Grimmsnarl I'm so happy I have it now. I've been trying to draft it every season since the Daddy Plan Part 1. And somebody's always picked it up the round that I was thinking about it. But I feel like it went under the radar this season, and because I picked it up in round 4.
What the heck? Did it survive round 4?
Yeah, it has to be just because people just forgot about it. Maybe its name was in a different font or something like that.
Just blinders, where people are like, there are no good fairy left, and then Grimmsnarl's right there.
Mm-hmm. Grimmsnarl does everything. It's one of the, like, I'm trying to think of, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who my MVPs this season are, and I want to say it's Wo-Chien because that's my first pick, but I think it's Grimmsnarl for Rigorath. It's such an easy classic combo. Like they work so well together. They're such a good lead. They do whatever they want. Like you see Trick Room coming, but what are you gonna do?
You're showing Grim as just like a trick room sweeper, like where it's like it doesn't need to be fancy. The point is it's a fairy type. It has a great stab fairy move. It has a good attack stat. It has coverage if it needs to. It has fake out with frisk sometimes. It's like it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know if someone said this, but Grimmsnarl has like the most disrespected 120 attack of all time. It's so
we have all said it because
it's true.
So yeah, when you play Draft League, you recognize Grimmsnarl as the everything mon, including an attacker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then sometimes special Grimmsnarl shows up too. We did that one week and that was fun.
D-Gleam, yeah, it's got a D-Gleam.
Frisk is so I wish I had Frisk. There aren't that many Frisk mons yet, right?
I haven't had Frisk in a long time. I want it.
The last time I had it, I did so well, and I hate having to put, like, when you have a fake out lead and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do something that needs to work this turn, otherwise I'm just toast. If you don't have Frisk, it makes it so, like, I lose years off my life thinking about those turns.
Oh,
I gotta say, like, I gotta respect, like, most of the design decisions they made for Gen 9, like, have been positive. Like, and like most of the things that we all knew were just like really, really strong got some kind of response, because we were like, as soon as Dynamax goes away, fake out is going to be broken, and they gave us the cloak, and yeah, the cloak is very, very strong, but like it means there's actual tension when you click fake out. It's not just like automatic.
Yeah.
Clicking fake out in like season 7 and 6 with no Dynamax was just the freest move you could ever think of. It's so nice.
Notable new Frisk mons include Hisui, Typhlosion, and Weirdear.
I think Hisui Typhlosion is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Got Eruption.
It's got Eruption with a pretty huge attack stat for Eruption. 119, and
that's good.
Fire Ghost is nice.
Coming to a VBL season 10 near you.
Absolutely. Infernal Parade is actually pretty good. 60 power, 30% to burn, double power if the target's already statused.
It's Hex, but it does the hexing for you.
Yeah.
I was looking at Hisui and Arcanine, Zoroark. And I think that's going to be pretty nice. I think it's significantly better than normal Zoroark.
Much better.
Even if it was the same type, the fact that it gets Icy Wind is so sick, because it's so fast, and you think, oh, here's this Amoonguss. I'm going to get slapped.
Icy Wind from an Amoonguss.
Yeah. Like, obviously, every team that plays against it in draft is going to know, like, every single lead is probably Zoroark somewhere, so you have to play around that. But, like, and they just don't bring it, and then you throw out I don't know, something stupid and
Dark
look like
Pulse. Yeah.
With Zoroark in the team, you get 3 Mon leads that people have to account for.
a goober.
Its combination of moves in Icy Wind, Snarl, Knockoff, Bitter Malice.
Yeah, Bitter Mouse is so good.
It's
Which
absurd.
For people who haven't already looked it up, it's Spirit Break, so it's like a move that always drops their attack, but it's attack and it's Ghost type, so it's like
special. Yeah, special attack.
Mm-hmm. Like, am I gonna really cry about losing 5 BP on Shadow Ball? I'm still gonna die either way, so probably
Oh
not.
man, what a mon. This thing's gonna be crazy. Yeah, and just like slightly optimized stats from Zoroark, and like even like 100 attack isn't terrible. Like the knockoffs are not. It's not like they're doing nothing. They're also just useful.
You know what my
Right.
favorite thing about Hisuian Zoroark is? That it's a normal type special attacker, so you always have stat on Terra Blast.
Yeah, that's true. Does it have
That's
Hyper
good
Voice?
news.
Just curious.
Yep, you run them both.
Throat Spray.
Terra Blast, Hyper Voice, Bitter Malice, Protect. Easy peasy. Or Icy Wind with a Sash.
The mod just kind of like builds your whole draft squad, because like if you don't plan a lot, you can end up with lots of fighting weaknesses, a ghost weakness, and so like that. There's nothing better that protects your fighting weaknesses and ghost weaknesses than adding a Zoroark and making everybody think twice.
Bringing a Zoroark, giving it no moves, keeping it on the bench, it still does its job.
Oh man. I'm not excited for this one, honestly.
No, dude, I am so excited for next season. I've been wanting to play with the Hisuian Mons.
No.
Whenever that game came out.
Not excited for Zoroark specifically. The mind
You
games
just draft
are
it
too
yourself.
much for me. True. Yeah, it's crazy. And like, what was I just looking at? I literally forgot what I was just looking at. I don't know. It's stupidly good. Yeah. Any other new mons people are excited for?
Well, I got to save that in my back pocket. Just like this season where we all found our Paradox or Ruin Mon to try out, I'll be trying out my Hisuian you least expect next season.
Oh yeah.
Better not be Overquill. Better not be Overquill.
I have the boldest take of all.
If you save Overquill, if you don't pick it early, Poppin, like I do want that one. Like I'm just letting you know.
I have the boldest.
It's your choice. It's in your hands whether you really want it or not.
Oh, don't flip that on me. That's stressful.
I'm not saying I'm taking it round 1, but
got it.
Maybe two.
Guys, guess what I'm gonna take in round 1? Ursaluna.
Delmise.
I'm taking Ursaluna.
Oh God, yeah. I hope you get pick 1.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's not even reasonable at all. Like
we have to make it like 25 points, right? Like something obscene.
Like it is 50 speed, which is like the most play aroundable speed when you're playing specifically.
Yeah. Still,
but like it is just like classically definitionally overpowered.
Yeah, I mean, like people were clamoring for Tinglu to be like super high. This is way better than Tinglu. Way better.
Look at this min-maxing. Like it is a 550 base stat total, which is really good, which is basically legendary. But like the special attack is 45.
Yeah.
So it's it's all exactly where it needs to be. It never dies and it always kills.
The only way
is like, it's like the best of it's such a Gen 8 mon. You look at the stats, it's like Jesus, and then you look at it, it's like, oh, it's got a Gen 2 move pool. Okay, this is fine. It has coverage of every single type. Lovely.
140 guts is, how is that even like allowed? Also normal type.
But it's stab. Insane. Yeah, so like the key is that it's like Hariyama was the strongest guts mon Conkeldurr at 140. So this is as strong as that, but the point is it starts out 50% stronger by having the guts facade.
Yeah.
You get hit with explosion every turn. It's awful.
And also just like, I mean, literally the only way that you could make this better is cut off 30 points from speed and like put them onto, well, I was going to say special defense, because like within reason, but like technically if you put it on attack, then it would literally just OHKO everything.
Like this thing just needs a Sableye, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure it gets a shot and something will die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Self Will-O-Wisp.
That too?
Holy shit. Self Will-O-Wisp.
You get that one for free, season 10 coaches.
No, I'm serious with does Bronzong get Wisp? No, it doesn't. I would have known. Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
feel like the only way to reliably check it is to skill swap Guts away. But then you also have to deal with
yeah.
Facade.
Yeah.
I don't know, imprison Facade and imprison Headlong Rush somehow.
Trick Room, Will-O-Wisp. I feel like you could actually, if you have a slow Trick Room setter, self-Wisp.
Yeah.
I don't know. Drifblim. My advice is get Drifblim, use Strength Sap. Ursaluna won't be a problem.
Hold on. So if you had, is there a mon that learns Symbiosis and Trick Room? Oh, of course, it's Oranguru. So
The
hold
best
on.
one in the game.
So what if you set Trick Room and then you triggered your own room service and then you passed a Flame Orb?
You'd have to wait.
Will that all work in the same turn, or will that take a turn?
No, I think it would
like
take a turn for the Flame Orb.
No, I think that would work.
Would it?
Symbiosis happens like instantly, like where you pass your item.
And if you get tricked to Flame Orb, it still burns you at the end of the turn.
Yeah, no, so Trick Room happens at the end of the turn, but not after the turn. Like Trick Room and Symbiosis happening during that turn.
Oh man, oh god, that's gross.
And then, guess what? You hit the funny monkey button,
and then you hit
everything goes away.
And then you got your Instruct combo here.
Yeah, you hit Facade Instruct, and it's just two KOs.
We got Terra Ghost.
Yeah.
Terra Ghost Levitate.
Yeah.
Rotoms are gonna be in high demand.
Truth.
They learned Shadow Ball. Right?
They didn't bring Vikavolt back in the new format. Like, it's good because it's got Levitate and Terra now. So, but give me my Vikavolt.
Yeah, Stab.
What are you doing? It's finally its time.
You have to pay for Vikavolt, Jordan.
I will pay $5 of DLC. Give me my Vikavolt.
What do we think Vikavolt is going to be terrain into? Is it going to be a
electric? Baby.
Yeah.
Discharge.
That's like the only. I feel like that's the only type that you.
Terra Steel with Levitate, pretty good. Yeah. And it's got Flash Cannon already.
I feel like electric mons with Levitate are like the only mons that you like consistently Terra into your own type. You know what I mean?
Which is kind of
I'm using Eel and I'm just Terra firing it or Terra poisoning it because it's just like it's like so many broken combos with Levitate and Terra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any ability that gives you an immunity is so sick now. Like, oh my god, I love Storm Drain Fire type Gastrodon. It's
so
yeah.
So
what are you gonna do? Bring a ground type?
I
wish I still had Scald though.
Oh yeah. And Earth Eater, if they gave that to like a mon that wasn't garbage, that would be fun.
Yeah, Jace is trying to tell me that Earthworm is like really good, and I'm not understanding. I'm
just
like the ability is really cool, but you're gonna need a lot of Earthquake spam to really make that a thing.
It's Steel type Sandaconda, and that's meant to be a mean comment.
Yeah, Sandaconda ain't it. But that said, I did see another league where Sandaconda and Lycanroc, like with Sandaconda you hit it and it sets sand, like actually being semi-good, and I'm like, Sandaconda was so disappointing for me.
Fake league. That person was playing against plumbers.
Yeah, it wasn't even VBL-S, so not even real.
Doesn't even count.
Yeah,
you got to adjust for era.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got anything else in the tank?
I was about to say, yeah, we can start wrapping up. Does anybody have any other points of? I don't know what I was gonna say. Points of something. Points of interest. I don't know.
Points of contention. Let's start a debate.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's my debate. I think it's a crime that Scoville has gone unused for 2 seasons in a row. I'm drafting it next season.
Yeah.
Sure.
Moody. I mean, like you got to win with Moody. That's the problem. And it's like, who wants to win with Moody? I guess Poppin does.
No.
I wanted.
You got the first fire type chlorophyll. How do you?
It's so bad.
Man. No, it's not. It has 108 on both attacks.
I know. I wanted to like it so badly, but it's just so frail. It's so bad. It's just not good. Yeah, I will say you can overheat in Sun with the chlorophyll boost and then still be strong if you just are like Sash with like minus defense nature. And then you can
overheat
just,
Sun with the chlorophyll boost and then eject something yourself out into a good Pokemon.
Eject pack? No. That's not the wave. The wave is overheat 1 turn. you go -2 special attack, but you're like a minus defense nature, and then the next turn, wait, it doesn't have any physical fire moves. What the hell? Its best physical fire move is Fire Fang. Oh my god, this thing is so
Gross.
bad.
So I tried to make Scovillain work in early Gen 9. So Series 1, my idea was it has this special move, Spicy Extract, which is
it's so cool.
Yeah, so you get +2 offense, -2 defense. So that quadruples the power of Foul Play. So you bring it next to Umbreon, who foul plays and destroys everything after Spicy Extract. And also they have like a Sun synergy. So like you set Sun for Scovillain to do things offensively and for Umbreon to Moonlight. So it wasn't good on ladder, but in draft, you never know.
You know why it's not going to be good in draft?
Why?
Because it's going to be
Because you're going to
priced.
draft it.
No, because it's going to be priced for both Chlorophyll and Rage Powder. But it's not a particularly good user of either. So the fact that it does both kind of mid means that like similarly good Rage Powder mons are going to be much cheaper, and similarly good Chlorophyll mons are going to be cheap, or other like speed boosting mons are going to be cheaper as well. So it's like roll compresses a bunch of things that it does like kind of mediocre. So it's going to be always going to be more expensive than you're going to get value from it, unless you just do a really good job and extract max value. But
well, should we make it lower? We have it on a scale of 1 to 20, like 9 or 10 right now. So like, is that too much?
No, it's not. My point is like you can't, because like Rage Powder already guarantees that it should be somewhat high, and then it should be higher than the Rage Powder mons that do nothing except for Rage Powder, because it has Chlorophyll, it can hit hard, but like realistically it doesn't do either particularly well. But you have to bake it into the price. Otherwise, if somebody's getting it for like 5, then there are going to be issues. It's tough.
It just seems hard. Like it's because it's hard to price, right? Because if you're saying it's not as good as its price, then we should make its price lower.
No.
I just don't like mons that aren't fast because I'm tired of getting hacked, and you don't get hacked as much when you go first.
Yeah. No, my point is it's hard to price because it does a lot of things that are important, but it does them all mediocrely, which makes it not really.
I think it's perfect where it's at. I think someone just needs to be brave.
Yeah.
Someone needs to be brave.
All right, folks. This was the VBL-S podcast, episode 71.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe, please.
Oh, wait.